But what if you've got a shoulder injury you don't know, and you're benching away, and you're like, oh, I know that I'm smashing this because I can feel this horrible burning pain in my deltoid. Then you wake up the next day and your arm doesn't work anymore and it's all black and blue. Simon Miller here, the bald asshole that loves to lift weights. And look, I have been doing a lot of fitness reading and a lot of fitness watching recently because we have more time on my hands. I'm like, well, I can't train properly with my pansy ass weights that I've got. So I'll try and educate my brain so that when I can return to the gym, I'm going to have all this knowledge and I'm going to get even more jacked and even more ripped than I was before, even though I never actually thought I was jacked or ripped. That is not the point. And some of the stuff that you come up on, or the things that people are saying, it blows my mind. And I started to think to myself, oh my gosh, some individuals may be believing this because why the hell wouldn't you believe it, right? If you see someone that's talking quite authoritatively, you may think it's the truth. And yeah, you can think that I'm talking bollocks too. That's completely up to your choice. But I was like, man, we got to go through some of these and just demyth them straight away because they're nonsense. At least in my opinion, they're nonsense. Maybe they worked for you. Everybody's different. Everyone's a bit crazy. I do want to say at this point too as well, drop a comment below and let me know what you want me to talk about in terms of fitness or whatever. You know, this is designed to be enjoyable and entertaining and informative to the audience who wants to watch it. And I'm always up for new ideas. So let me know. Hit the subscribe button too. That would rock. Hit the like button. But yeah, look, here's the thing. Here's 10 things that some people are genuinely saying that you got to ignore because they do not work. Number 10 is get lean by not eating. Now look, on a base level, will this work? I mean, kind of to a point. Yeah, if you don't take in any calories, don't ever do that. You will lose weight, I suppose, but you'll also get to a point where your body will just stop losing weight because your brain will say to everything else, oh, by the way, we're starving. So if you can sort of stop digesting things properly and just hold on to as much fat as possible, that would rock. That's why when you see someone who is in a starvation state, they have that kind of elongated gut because that's the body just trying to hold on to everything it can. The body is really clever. The brain is really clever and it needs food and it wants food and it needs water and it wants water. If anybody is telling you not to eat to lose weight, I'm not saying eat less. I'm not saying you should be entering a calorie deficit. Yes, of course, you know about that. We talk about it all the time. But you have to get food in you. Nutrition is really important. Have a salad. Have something. Have anything. But I saw it the other day. I'm not going to name and shame anyone because I don't see the point. But I saw this in a video saying, something like I faked my abs by not eating. I was like, you didn't fake your abs by not eating. You just lost a load of weight badly. Also, if you do that, when you do start introducing real foods again, carbs, whatever, you're just going to blow up because your body's going to freak out. Please eat. I can't believe I have to say this, but number 10 is please eat. Number 9 is it doesn't matter if you eat too much protein, or, more specifically, you should eat as much protein as you can. Now, yes, you should be eating more protein than maybe the average human being does, because we know that's the foundation and building block of muscles. But your body can only handle so much protein. Like, I don't know what that's going to be for you. It'll be different for me. It'll be different for someone that has superior genetics. But eventually, again, the brain, it's all about the brain and how clever it is. It will send signals going, well, that's as much protein right now as I can use for muscle building, so let's just store the rest as fat. That's what it will do. So you have to kind of find out what works for you. It depends what kind of diet you're doing. If you're doing a ketogenic diet, maybe you need more protein. If you're doing, I don't know, I'm not going to go through all of them. But do not think that you need to be having 500 grams of protein a day. I mean, if you're massive, maybe you do. But I don't think many people need 500 grams of protein a day. And yet again, I see people just saying, oh, don't worry about anything else. Just eat protein and eat more protein and eat protein. It's still calories. It's still got to go somewhere. Again, there's only so much you can utilize for the positive things that we're looking for. So don't do that. There's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of protein and then realize you didn't need to because, I don't know, you get some negative effects from it or you don't think you look as good. But find your balance, find your moderation. And if anyone tells you that, if anyone is telling you to eat a crazy amount of protein, well, the clue's right there. They crazy. Number 8 is don't eat fruit. Now, look, I'm not going to get too mad about this because there was a while that I didn't eat fruit because I bought in to all these articles that I read in because they're like fructose is sugar and it's going to sneak up at you at night and it's just going to make you look really, really crap. And I was like, I don't eat fruit, even carrots. I was like, well, there's sugar in carrots. I can't eat that. And sure, if again, you're about to step on stage and you've got a coach, they may cut out fruit at some point. I mean, it depends. I don't know. It depends on what they want to do with you. But you really need to be eating fruit. You really need to be eating vegetables. That's why people say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's why they're telling you to get 5 portions of these a day because your body needs it. And I think it's really easy, and I do it too, like I say, to forget that it's health and fitness. The key word there, or one of the key words, being health. There's no point looking great on the outside if you feel crap in the inside. So don't be scared of fruit. Don't be scared of fructose. Some people say, well, if you're going to have an apple, you may as well have a bag of Haribo. That is nonsense. That is absolute rubbish. One is synthetically made sweets. The other is a natural product that is picked off a tree. It couldn't be more different if you tried. I beg of you, please have some fruit. Just have one grape. It's delicious. Number 7 is that you should just drink milk to put on weight. There's still this idea that milk is a really good source of protein, when it is not. I don't even need to tell you. Go look at the nutritional values. Go look at the macro breakdown on the side. It has some protein in it, but it's not like some magical protein drink. Some people think it's like whey protein. If you want milk, you can have milk, but there are far better ways to put on milk. Again, the milk diet. I saw another video in 2020 of someone saying, just do the milk diet. Drink like 2 gallons of milk a day or whatever it was. I'm like, what the hell is that? And again, if you want to try it, great. And if you're desperately trying to put on weight, yeah, drinking a load of milk will do it. And obviously, it's much easier to drink your food than eat your food. But I can't believe anyone is going to get any decent gains or any great progression, all of that. You're just going to turn into like a big milk dud, a big milk floaty thing, just like rolling along going, oh, I feel so terrible all the time. And what if you do that and then realize that you're quite intolerant to dairy? I mean, it's unlikely it's going to happen, but it could. Then you're going to feel like crap. Don't just rely on milk. What a thing to say. Don't just rely on milk. We're not babies. Number 6 is if you're not squatting, you're not lifting properly. I can't stand that. Look, the squat is probably one of the most important exercises you can do, or one of the most important compound movements you can do. You're going to be hitting a load of muscles. It's great for your legs. It's a great overall exercise too. And it's going to make you stronger, of course. But there are plans that say if you're not squatting, you're doing everything wrong and you're never going to see any kind of progression or evolution and you absolutely suck. That is absolute crap. Some people can't squat because they're injured. I mean, if you're not doing it because you don't like it, I would implore you to rethink that. But that's okay too. If you hate it that much, you don't have to. A workout is a workout. It all comes down to your intensity. It all comes down to progressive overload. And it all comes down to making sure you're just pushing yourself as hard as you can. That does not mean you need to do squats. Really, if you never want to do bench press, squats, deadlifts, or whatever else, you can still get a good physique by going to the gym and working out. Squats are not the be-all and end-all. I watched a whole video on this the other day, that how you're, not my words, I don't like using this word, but how you're a pussy if you don't do squats. No, a pussy is a cat. Someone that goes to the gym and doesn't do squats is someone that's going to the gym and not doing squats. You have to find a plan that works for you. And you have to do exercises that work for you. Maybe you do a squat and you hate it so much, all you're thinking about is, when can I stop squatting? Maybe I can stop squatting. Or maybe your knees hurt or whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't feel like anything is a necessity. Things are going to help you get to your goal faster, of course. And if someone said, Simon, should or shouldn't I squat? I'd say, well, if you feel good about it, you should squat. What a great exercise. Again, though, not a 100% necessity. Don't let anybody beat you over the head with these black and white things, especially with fitness. It's just not true. Number 5 is get abs in a week. If you don't believe me, go type it in to Google, type it into YouTube. All these videos and articles about how you can get abs in a week. Most time to number 10, don't eat. You can't get abs in a week unless you've already got some semblance of abs. What does that even mean? Like, you can just, abs are made in the kitchen. You heard that saying. If you get your diet on point, your abs will just appear because they're there. And yes, some people are going to have better abs than other abs. You can work your core to try and make them look a bit better, or at least perform better. But don't, it was a Dumb and Dumber skit, right? It's like abs in 6 minutes. Can't get abs in 6 minutes. It's just not true. And also, even if someone said abs in 3 months, also may not be true. It depends how you're going to react to the training and your diet. You will get abs, much like you will get biceps and latimus dorsi and trapezius muscles and pecs and everything in due course. But marathon, not a sprint. Just say it all the time. It's boring. I know, but it's true. Marathon, not a sprint. Ain't nobody getting abs in a week. Number 4, it's not working if it doesn't hurt. Pushing yourself in the gym is important, and DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, which some of us get when we wake up the next day because you've broken the muscle down and it hurts, can be good. And again, as I've already said, you've got to push yourself. But what a thing to say. If it doesn't hurt, it's not working. But what if you've got a shoulder injury you don't know, and you're benching away, and you're like, oh, I know that I'm smashing this because I can feel this horrible burning pain in my deltoid. Then you wake up the next day and your arm doesn't work anymore and it's all black and blue. That is nonsense. Again, I know some people that are massive, jack dudes. They never get delayed onset muscle soreness. They get pain in the gym when, the lactic acid builds up in the muscle and you really feel the pump, essentially. But if anyone says that to you, stop listening to them. There's so many ways to do it. And also, you don't want to be in pain. There's a difference between something hurting and being in pain. That whole no pain, no gain is such old school gym nonsense. Again, you have to go to a gym and you have to make sure that you're applying yourself 100%. But some of these old school terms, they just give a bad impression of what you have to do when you're lifting weights, and I want to eradicate them. I'm not going to be able to, but I'm going to try. Number 3 are all these videos about carbs. Like, just find the right diet that works for you. Again, we did a video yesterday, if you're watching this on a Saturday, about Triple H, who's a mad fan of ketogenic diets, doesn't have that many carbohydrates. But you find these videos on carbohydrates when someone will look right down the camera, like I am now, and go, if you eat carbohydrates, you will put on 72 pounds. No, you won't. No, you won't. Like, again, you could have 42 pizzas today if you wanted to. But if you go and burn 43 pizza calorie worth, whatever, and your cardio, you know what I'm saying, you burn more calories, it won't make a difference. Carbs are great. Carbs are a source of energy. Carbs usually taste amazing. Don't be scared of carbs. And again, maybe your body is going to work better by doing something with a high-fat diet. But at least 3 videos when I was looking for it of people saying that if you keep carbs, you're going to get fat. No, if you overeat, you're going to get fat. Again, if you just ate chicken all day, but you take in 10,000 calories worth of chicken, then you will get fat because that's how the body works. There's no magic recipe here. You're allowed carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are good. It's what was it called? The Atkins diet, right? Which came about in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. That's where this all came from. And it works. Of course it works. But don't do it. Or you can do it, but just know you don't have to do it. Number 2, I should have tied this into the squats one, but it gets its own mention because it's nuts. And that's these, I was looking through exercise plans, and they went to get the best kind of squat, stand on a medicine ball, and balance while you're doing squats to work your core. That could be the most dangerous thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, break that down right to its basics. Stand on an unstable surface, put a heavy weight on your back, and then try and sort of squat down, essentially. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing it, but then try and squat down. That's a recipe for disaster. A, you're not going to be able to squat as much as you would be anyway. B, you're probably going to fall off that ball and hurt yourself. And C, you're going to look like a moron. But again, there's so many training routines that have that in. I mean, if you're doing it with tiny weights, maybe it works, but it's still, to me, it just sounds like, would you like to get injured? Would you like to get injured? Oh, yes, please. Here's an exercise that's going to get you injured. I don't think anybody wants to get injured. And if you do, there's far easier ways. Just jump out of a window, not too high, but that's just high enough that you break something. I think that would make more sense, and then film it and put it on YouTube, and you'll get more views. Don't do this, by the way. It's me being an idiot. Don't do this. But you'll get more views than being a guy that's trying to surf a ball. Who wants to surf a ball? And number 1 is you got to get up at 3 a.m. every day. Otherwise, you ain't doing this stuff right. Or that ties into the whole, what's your excuse? Do you know what your excuse can be? I didn't want to go. That doesn't make you a bad person. That's your choice. You know what you want and don't want to do. But there's so much, especially on Instagram. I know I talk about it all the time. But there's so many of these Instagram guys that are like, I get up at 3 a.m. and I do this and I do that. I'm like, why don't you sleep some more? Why don't you get some rest? It doesn't matter what time you get up. You know your schedule. You know what you have to get in throughout a day. And you know how much time is required for fitness. And you can fit that in. Like, if you get up an hour earlier, like Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say, yeah, great, really good idea. But you don't have to be getting up in the middle of the night just to try and pretend you're putting more work in than everybody else. You put the work in that you think you need. And that may not be enough, but again, that's down to you. Maybe you decide, I'd rather sleep till 6 than wake up at 3 a.m. That's a perfectly acceptable choice. I can't stand it. I can see it all the time. I get up at this time because I'm the best. It's like, look, you look great and fair play to you. I massively respect your work ethic, but don't go and throw that on anybody else. Suggest it and give them reasons why, but it is not a prerequisite for success. And that's that. 10 things I've literally seen over the last few days that clearly wound me up enough that I felt like I needed to talk about it, and that's what we've done right now. Again, if you could hit the subscribe button, that would rock. Hit the like button, that would rock. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/Simon316, a link in the description, because I make no money from YouTube, and a magic video will pop up at some point during this final rant. Click that. Have a watch of that. Watch some of my other videos. Should you so wish, I would appreciate it, but I will see you soon.